Why are the Gbagyi people scattered across 5 states of Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory Abuja? In this episode, we uncover the fascinating history of the Gbagyi migration, their settlements, language variations, and the forces that shaped their dispersion. The Gbagyi or Gbari people are the single largest ethnic group in central Nigeria, occupying a vast expanse of land. But their resistance to British indirect rule came at a cost. It marked them for unfavorable land use policies, forced relocations, and an eventual dispersal that scattered them far and wide. Despite these challenges, the Gbagyi people have maintained a strong sense of unity and cultural pride within their geographic heritage. One major theory traces their earliest settlements to the ancient city of Gbagyi, now known as Zaria, in Kaduna State.
Zaria, hello, Zaria Kowe, Ajiholo by Kogoburuku. Buruku. Gbagyi Jimbo, Buruku. Ya Zakwe, Lobo Majien, or Gibbon, Buruku. So bebe wa Zongo, Aji like Ogashipe, Kolela Abuja. The Gashipe, Wadu, Jigakuchia, Kokbeya Peahun, Oshina Abuja. Saigu.
You know, Zaria at that time was called Zozo, and Zaria was a Gbagyi land. Kaduna, since time immemorial, even in the colonial regime, they knew that Kaduna is Gbagyi land, and that there have not been any chief in Kaduna State or in Kaduna town. But with the coming of the governor, he discovered that actually Kaduna is Gbagyi land, and that is why he gave the chieftaincy title to Gbagyi man. That is why Gbagyi man is ruling Kaduna up to now. And you know, because of that, some of Gbagyi people left Kaduna looking for where they will have settlement, where they will not have disturbance.
Zagia ikonu ajiba lea mbalea nhale zagia habo bwa jiji yebo aja kokwe kaman karu buruku kubaru aji ba jan kokwe labmi nhale zagia kin habo bwa babo ngan hale zagia ajiba ba jan kokwe hale ba habo bwa ba har nanje yawa ko ataba gunganyi talala imu ya shakwe la imu ya mba dna do nanje agango jie kwen te shin na kwekwe nga lo zaji akin abo bwatari hibo abo bwa hihiyebo ko kun Gbagyinya nga lobo akuninya abo bwa babo zaji a
Garki people having live within the Zaria axis moved to a Kagarko area. Down an area called Sheep area. Normally, the original name for Gbagyi was Pay. After they will have a settlement that could be shown wherever our people resided there. The pressure with water, archaeological function, the water indicate where we resided. Happened on the history is composed of 3 sources of information: the oral, archaeological, national archaeological. So eventually, being a great hunter, we finally moved to a hill here within the legislative quarter. That's a hill there called a pay. Within the area, That area was surrounded with forest, thick forest. Being a great hunter, as well as being a farmer, that place served as a defense. That was far back, 16th, 17th century. And why this thing was ongoing, having known other material time before that time, but there was slavery. Slavery was on present. And there was an intertribal war. The Hausa, Fulani, Gbagyi and other ethnic. So any other person you see within that in those periods, not only Gbagyi ethnic, even other ethnic, they try all the people to stay in an area which will be protected, will be defensive, but then and most cases you have to find a unit or a cave or a forest. So that
Historical accounts suggest that waves of migration were driven by the need to escape the 1894 jihadist conflicts in northern Nigeria. But beyond conflicts, Gbagyi migration was also inspired by their deep connection to nature. Hunting expeditions and the search for fertile farmland led them from one region to another.
one, because of the religious aspect, that's Islam, Islam. Two, because Gbagyi man is an industrial person, was searching for new person. And he came towards for example, around Kukawa area. And it will be agreed and acceptable that the Gbagyi ethnic must have migrated from that area. Why I'm saying so, if you go to Maiduguri area, you see that this Colonial people have a tribal mass comparable with the Gbagyi tribal mass, especially. So one will agree the Gbagyi man must have migrated to that axis. And then move down towards the north central area, that is Dari, which we all agree and we believe that the Gbagyi reside within those areas.
You know, Zaria at that time was called Zozo, and Zaria was a Gbagyi land. And because of Danfodio religious war, we decided to come to Kaduna. From Kaduna, we migrated down to the then Plateau State.
If you are talking about the Gbari Yamas as a people or as a sub-nation, you are talking about the entire movement from Zaria, Kaduna toward the west, where we have more of the Gbaris, or the Gbari Yamas, or the Gbari of the west. And if you talk about the Gbaggis, or the Gbagyi and Gbari, or the Gbari of the east, then you are talking about the entire people that move from Kaduna towards the eastern part of Kaduna, and you will still have the larger majorities of the Gbaggis around that side. But if you want to talk about the establishment of Karu, establishment of Diko, establishment of Kuta, establishment of Nakuse, establishment of all the individual Gbagyi towns, we are going to talk about the individual people, characters that were involved. And these are the people who form ruling houses in each of these communities. So this is how we are.
As they moved, they provided shelter and protection to endangered ethnic groups who later became their neighbors. This hospitality remains a defining trait of the Gbagyi people to this day.
One would not wonder, Gbagyi being the original name, how does it arise? We now have there was an intertribal war. Slavery was ongoing. So the Hausa Fulani there, they were coming within the area. They fight our people. And you can, if you can just recollect, somebody was living on top, either of a tree or a hill. Somebody is coming in a far distance. At least be able to know who is that person. Either is this a friend or is this an enemy? So as soon as enemies are coming, Hausa Fulani people, they fight our people, the Gbagyi. The Gbagyi people will be ready for them. Ready for them. You know, what? Where people will be ready for them. And they start fighting them. And then they give Hausa people say, "Wannan gari ya gagara ce." Wannan gari ya gagara ce. Meaning now, this settlement is unconquerable. So, they are just now praying. How we are here. House people know. Most of us in the northern part, especially when they cannot be able to go now, a settlement will try to bring it down. So pay now, the original name of Gbagyi is pay, and then by Gbagyi name. And the founder, you understand, be a great hunter. So that is how it all come about. I will now have
Hunting and shifting cultivation played crucial roles in the founding of new Gbagyi villages. When hunters or farmers discovered new land rich in resources, they invited their kith and kin to settle, leading to the birth of vibrant communities. Over time, small villages grew into towns and cities that today accommodate diverse ethnic groups from across Nigeria.
na pe ba ji mbame ba ba yugo mwa ji ba ko ban okun nkunsa bara ma ka shi ikin ganwa bai za to ko ngurku geti na yi kwa ga geti bai za to ko ye kuchi ye ape to ngurku abaya baba ma da ko ko tunishe za kuma wo be wa nwa be fazan zainu wa be yeshi ga buruku GBAGYI to ya che abele lo shi bwa ba pe yan nakoda shi ba kuna baba ba ni na rewa bwa se yin ba ka da yin ba ba kun bauchi e te be yin sha pe beza be ya bele na ba sha sun ko du bauchi sai bauchi to shi ba be ajei bata ko ci go burukun ko ti mahai ko la go guruku ama guruku ye pululu kon go buruku ko hala ko busu ko ku bar baba gba ko ilen gamba bu buruku.
The founder of this Gbari, he came as a hunter. He settled at the hill there. We call that hill Boyape. That's Gbari Hill. Though his first settlement was at a village called Kaima before, because that Kaima was there for some days. He felt that that Kaima is not, that place is not good for him. He now came to Gbari here. That's Boyape. He settled there with his family. So that's why we got the name Boyape. Boya and stuff. As he settled there, he now discovered his mother. His wife asked him, because they were having some millet. His mother said, can I pan here? The husband said, yes, pan here. That is with our Gbagyi language, Boya. That's why Boya came about. It was the coming of all these Hausa people that changed it to Gbari.
A man called Ali left Borno provinces all the way down to Kaduna side, to Minna, to the old Gaum, and then later on proceeded to a place we call Nakwakunku in Lapai provinces now. Nakwakunku simply means Gbari, the heels of the monkey. He was in Nakwakunku for several years, and he left Nakwakunku, that is in the present Lapai, and the modern name for it is Mawoki. From there, he left Mawoki and came over here on the hills, overlooking the southeastern part of Kwali. And he settled there near a tree. There are some people call Kuka, or in our present language or dialect, we call it Kwala. He was there, and his people came all over from the Borno provinces looking for him. And wherever he went, trying to trace where Ali was, Ali the hunter. They always told him that that's the man that was staying under the Kuka tree or the Kwala tree. And because of the constant usage of the words Kwala and Ali, the word Kwali was formed. Kwala from the tree, or Kuka from the tree, and Ali from the man himself. So Kwali developed, and we now have what is called Kwali.
If you look at Lagbeita, my community's name is Lagbeita. We're all from Chikara. And Chikara was a community that was around that vicinity of Chikara, Lagbeita, Chikara, Kasua, but we're living in the same place inside where we are in the 1800s. We were there for some time, and normally you could do our tradition at that time was traditional religion period. Most of our grandfathers that were now turning to Christians were no longer comfortable living among the traditional worshippers. That prompted my grandfather, that is Tanjin GBAGYI, to move from the early settlers of Chikara, where it was then, to Lagbeita, where it is now.
Kefi is a Gbagyi settlement. And from there, we came, we settled. Our settlement was at this Marabahi. Marabahi, you see it now. It was the first Gbagyi settlement, and they settled on the hill. If you go there, you will still go and see samples of the houses that were built by mud. Some of the houses are still there today. Some have been demolished, but some are still there as a mark to show that there was a settlement there. And it was in that settlement that somebody, an elderly man, left Maraba here. We call it Marabape, and was looking for a place for green pasture and hunting. So he went and found Karu Kuchi.
Because they were behind the mountain for defense, for the sake of security. Because they could climb the mountain and see if there were enemies coming around and so on. Then later they came down to the other side of the mountain and settled there. We call the place Apiatasi. So people like my late father were born there, Apiatasi. And my mother as well.
We were on the hills, and that was appropriate at that time because there was, tribal wars we had the slavery and so on and so forth. And people had to look for places to hide. And the only best place to hide at that time was the hill. And so on top of the hill, it was difficult for any invader to come across or cross over the hills and, capture people they wanted. And so the hills provided a natural hiding place for the founders of Gbagyi.
Gbagyi traced their ancestry to a revered warrior and hunter, Dada Adamu Bodo. According to Chief Nana Fenebe Nico, Bodo had two sons, Tasanda and Wada. From these two lineages, we get the two primary Gbagyi dialects, Gbagyi and Gbari, Gbagyi and Gbari. While some members of the Gbari group argue for separate ethnic identity, their customs, traditions, and governance systems remain largely identical to the Gbagyi. From their kingship structures to their spiritual beliefs, their common ancestry remains undeniable. The British indirect rule system attempted to break Gbagyi unity through forced relocations, land seizures, and the introduction of religious division.
So it has been a long history before the missionary came in. And so they advocated that people should leave the forest and come into a plain place. That's why they lived there and went and settled in a plain place. Now, before going, we were by the riverside. Shebokma. They were settling in Shebokma. They settled in Shebokma when they migrated.
A period where the colonial people, the British colonial masters came, they were concerned with administration, the people, and access to them. So, and therefore they influenced the morphology of the people, the movement from place to place.
While Islam and Christianity introduced new belief systems, the Gbagyi people continue to uphold their ancestral traditions. History records their victories in battle, but what is more remarkable is that the Gbagyi people have never been conquered. Even when British colonial rule disrupted their political structures, their resilience and unity remain unshaken. Today, they maintain a strong presence across 4 states in the FCT Abuja, making significant contributions to Nigeria's political, cultural, and economic landscape. Despite their warrior spirit, the Gbagyi people have long been misunderstood. Their accommodating nature, diplomatic skills, and peaceful coexistence with neighbors have often been mistaken for weakness.
A Gbagyi man is very simple in dealing with. We know Gbagyi man before now, he forfeit his bed that he sleep on for a stranger. That is how far a Gbagyi man is accommodative.
And he always want to maintain peace. That's what I know of Gbagyi man. Even where there are troubles, he tried to exclude himself or run away from that situation.
The Gbagyi man is such a person that has not really loved having conflicts. I remember one of my friends, Barrister Kadima, told me at a certain point that the problem of the Middle Belt is the Gbagyi man. That the Gbagyi man doesn't want to interact with other tribes in a way that when there is any trouble, he will not want to claim whatever he has, but will want to leave leave whatever inheritance he has. And so, because we are the majority out of the other minor tribes in the Middle Belt, so we have they have not followed. They wouldn't want to follow suit with us because Gbagyi man he will let go whatever is his own, just to allow peace.
The Gbagyi/Gbari people are a rare kind, resilient, peace-loving, yet fiercely proud of their heritage. Their story is one of survival, diplomacy, and unwavering unity. Join us in our next episode, where we delve into the rich spiritual traditions of the Gbagyi people before the arrival of foreign religions. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. What are your thoughts on the Gbagyi migration? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.